What's good, everyone? This is your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we're at here, people. So this has been going on more and more here, coming to light that this Mamdani guy is, now definitely trying to run for mayor of New York. And we're hearing all types of things about this guy, about him being a socialist and a commie and stuff like that. And I've heard a few things out of his own words about, definitely seems very racial, overtaxing the white people and this and that. So we're going to dive off into this. We're going to see what's going on here because, I'm just wondering, will New York survive Mamdani's reign? Can it survive? I mean, if push comes, if he gets elected. So we're going to dive off into this now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
All right. It's an election the world has been watching. Disgraced former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is reportedly staying in the race despite losing the Democrat primary. While some might say this is quintessential ego-driven narcissism at its peak, I guarantee you Cuomo is being begged to stay in the race because anything is better than Zohran Mamdani.
This election is not just about electing a mayor of the city of New York. This election
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence.
Did you hear what he just said there? That violence is an artificial construction? What does that even mean? If you think Mamdani came out of nowhere, then you're about as clueless as Joe Biden was while he was in office looking for his clothes in the morning. Remember, he got lost in the closet of the White House. Mamdani, he is a communist Trojan horse in a slick, palatable package.
Damn.
Go ahead, make a rap for your nanny.
It's a rap.
Get the guap, spin the rack on your nanny.
Spin the rack.
Come through, give a dab to your nanny. If you're really feeling good, spin a track for your nanny. Go ahead, make a
Fair use, by the way. I hope I don't, fair use, by the way, please. Fair use.
rap for your nanny.
Unbelievable. Make a rap for your nanny. God help us with that commie. The 33-year-old self-proclaimed democratic socialist, he's a former rapper who emigrated from Uganda just 7 years ago, but he's actually a champagne socialist at best. His first job was at 29 as a New York assemblyman. Mamdani grew up in a wealthy Manhattan neighborhood. His mother is a celebrated Indian-American filmmaker who directed that rap video, by the way, and his father, a professor at Columbia University. Mamdani also attended fancy private schools.
Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with.
So what does he know about galvanizing the people? I mean, the little guys, the little guys. What does he know? Make a rap for your mommy. What that commie? What? Hey, listen, look, man, this is crazy right here. And we got this slick haired. I'm not going to say that name. Let's keep going.
They hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
Worldwide tour is a worldwide.
Okay, hold on here. Let's hold on. Jesus Christ, this is gonna be a difficult one here. Hold on.
Born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old.
Born in Uganda, raised there till 7, and then moved here. You technically wasn't raised in Uganda if you left there at 7 and moved to the U.S. I mean, you were raised over here. The place that you were raised at is normally the place that you eventually become an adult and you still living there. That's where you were raised. Man, come on, people. This is crazy. New York is in trouble, bro.
Is there different parts of my life.
Worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Did you hear that worldwide tour? All of a sudden, he changed his accents. This whole Robin Hood act that he's putting on, it's as fake as his accents. Mamdani is simply the byproduct of a deliberate electoral strategy to fool the masses, and it is working like we saw. I mean, this guy, he's young, he's handsome, he's charismatic, he's got that great smile. He's an archetype, right? That's been proven to be successful, just like AOC, who is backing him. Highly educated, rich, white New Yorkers voted for Mamdani, which is shocking because look at this. Take a look at this. One of his campaign promises is to tax whiter neighborhoods higher than others. Jews also voted for Mamdani. It's mind-boggling, right? This is a guy who won't say that Israel has a right to exist. And he also, listen to this, he's refusing to condemn the chants of intifada.
The phrase globalized intifada, from the river to the sea, does that make you uncomfortable?
You know, I know people for whom those things mean very different things. And to me, ultimately, what I hear in so many is a desperate desire for equality and equal rights.
Intifada does not mean equal rights. It means to kill people that don't believe in what the Muslim faith they believe in. Mamdani's own social media posts, like the one right there, revealing he's an anarchist. He's calling for the defunding of police. And not only that, listen, his defunding of the police, he wants to abolish the prison system. He wants to freeze the rent. He wants free childcare, free bus fare. He wants to decriminalize sex work. He wants to decriminalize drug possession. He wants you to be able to shoot yourself up on the streets. He wants to end cashless bail. And he also wants to end cooperation with federal authorities like ICE.
Man, this is wild. Listen, look. All right, so this is where we at real quick. We're going to keep going here because there is more, man. This is wild, man. This Mamdani guy. Listen, man, New York is in trouble out here. They already in trouble because of what happened this past election cycle. Y'all already got issues out there, people. I don't know. I don't understand the mindset of what's happening to one of our greatest cities in this country. New York once was a shining beacon of the world for New York. I mean, for America, man. Jesus, man, what are y'all doing? And then at the same time, too, from what this lady just said, even the rich people are voting for the guy to tax them more money. What are you talking about? Oh, man. Lord have mercy. All right. We're going to keep going here, man, because there's more. Jesus Christ. This is crazy. So we're going to hear from a few survivors of communist lifestyle. So, let's go here now. Let's check this out.
Joining us now, two refugees who've lived through the horrors of socialism and communism. New Hampshire congressional candidate Lily Tong Williams and Manhattan Institute fellow Daniel DiMartino. Great to see both of you. Lily, what do you say to Zohran Mamdani, who is the Democrat now running for the mayor here? Or what do you say to people who vote?
Keep in mind now, he a Democrat. So I don't want to hear shit about, this Trump fault. This Trump fault out here. This Zohran Mamdani guy, he came in because of Trump. Okay, then. Yeah, all right.
For socialism.
Well, the people who vote for socialism are the ones who never lived it, who never suffered from the hunger and poverty and the lack of freedom and police state. So those people should be educated about history better. That's failure of our American education system. Our kids don't know the history, and they bought into free stuff provided by government. That's how Mao sold the socialism, communism to millions Chinese, and the millions of them starving to death by his central planning socialist policies. So I'm running because I don't want this country become the country I left. And I don't want anybody to take away my gun rights. That's a God-given rights. I will never compromise.
I love it. Well, Daniel, I want to ask you something that I'm really perplexed about. And it's not only young people that are gravitating towards the AOCs and the Mamdanis of the Democrat Party, but I'm rather perplexed and confused why white I call them overly educated liberals. When you look at the breakdown of this Democrat mayoral primary in New York City this week, you're not necessarily seeing the working class. You're not seeing Black voters, Hispanic voters. You're not seeing them showing out necessarily for Mamdani, but you're seeing the white liberals, and those are the ones that were celebrating, cheering up and down for him. You got to help me understand, what is it about that group of people that makes them cheer so ferociously for socialism?
Yeah, thank you all, and thank you for having me. Good to see you all again. Look, what really concerns me about this is what you said, Tommy, that it is really highly educated young people who turned out for Mamdani. And it is really not.
Now, in my eyes, then, if that's the case, then they're obviously not highly educated. And these indoctrination camps that we call colleges and schools nowadays, it's ridiculous.
What the French toast is there to think about?
And this is the horrors that are coming along with this educational system that we have in place. Thank God they got rid of the Board of Education, because this is crazy here. This is ridiculous here that we have a whole set of our young people that's supposed to be the leaders of our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beautiful things inside. I know the rest of the song, but Jesus, man, it's just sad, man. And our young people are turning their backs on their only home in the world. And I'm telling the truth. These so-called rich liberal, whatever, they can't go anywhere else on the planet and do the things that they're doing. They're going to be on lockdown. They go anywhere else on the planet. That's if they're allowed to become a citizen of whatever country they decide to go to.
Shocking, because I went to Colombia for my PhD, and I saw it myself. People there are the most supportive of socialism. And the reason is because of our colleges here in America. That was one of the most shocking things I saw when I first came to America in 2016, was that it was higher education that was captured by Marxists. And so what happened in Venezuela, that people voted for a socialist regime, unlike in China or unlike in the Soviet Union, can clearly happen here too. And Mamdani might not be able to turn New York City into Caracas because he's mayor and not tyrant, but the point is Americans are willing to vote for someone like him. And today is New York City, tomorrow is the rest of America.
Yo.
What the French toast is there to think
He
about?
said it. There it go. And I definitely agree with that mindset right there. And this is the truth right here, people. You know what I'm saying? And this is where it starts. It starts off very small. It starts off very, very small. If you ever seen a movie called Big Trouble in Little China with anyway, Big Trouble in Little China, the little Asian dude on there was talking about how trouble always starts off very small and then it gets big. And that's the truth, though. Trouble starts off very small and then it just gets out of control. And this is going to be a super huge problem unless the citizens of New York reel this in immediately. And I mean immediately. This is going to be the beginning of being able to elect individuals with that type of thinking, that type of mindset, with that Marxist attitude, a communist social craziness that they want to bring in and think that shit's going to be okay. This is wild right here. So obviously, clearly see, I got Anton Daniels in the broadcast room. Shout out to him.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah. Of course, I had to bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Anton. Real talk. Definitely he has something to say about this situation, and we're going to let him rock out. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Grocery stores, some executives, including one of the top grocery stores owners, billionaires, threatening to shut down his supermarket in the city. John Catsimatidis, who runs Christie's grocery chain, you're probably very familiar with him. He said this on election day, quote, "If the city of New York is going socialist, I will definitely close or sell or move or franchise the Christie's locations." In order to run New York City successfully as mayor, do you not need the support of a billionaire businessman like John Catsimatidis?
I don't know if I need his support specifically, but I want to make clear that my vision for this city is a vision for every single New Yorker, including business leaders across the city. And the reason I say that is that my proposals, even the ones to increase the top corporate tax rate of New York to match that of New Jersey, are ones that would also benefit those business leaders. Because when I have conversations with them, what I also hear is the just how expensive this city is preventing them from attracting and retaining the talent they need to grow their business. And ultimately, I'm looking forward to having those meetings, having those sit downs to make clear why this vision would benefit all.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that his pitch to go from a 7.5% corporate tax to 11.5%, almost 12% corporate tax is so that they can retain talent, as though if the grocery store owners, such as the guy that he's talking about, and or the people that are happening in the corporate America or whatever, so on and so forth, he's telling them that he's going to tax them more so that they can then retain more talent, as though they can't actually keep more talent by raising it. And it's not the conditions, it's not any other factor than the fact that they have to pay more taxes into the city of New York in order to do business there and to move into a socialist environment. Okay. All right.
Went on your website and realized there's a policy proposal that says your plan, and I'm going to quote it for folks, is to shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods.
This is stupid. This is just dumb. Honestly, I'm not tripping about it. I think it's hilarious, and I think it's worth the conversation as far as having a conversation of how socialism actually destroys communities. It destroys whole countries. Whereas capitalism, even though there's a lot of people that complain about being in the victim Olympics and the oppression Olympics, and the fact of the matter is that they've made a lot of self-inflicted wounds and they had a lot of bad decisions. The fact of the matter is capitalism across the board is 10 times better when done right than anything inside of the world, which is one of the reasons why the United States of America is the greatest country of the world to do business in, and money is flowing in here by the trillions. He thinks that pitching as a Muslim that is also very racist, that pitching overtaxing whiter neighborhoods. Look at the quote. Look at the quote. Shift the tax burden. This is straight from his website. Shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. We have turned the Democrat Party, the Liberal Party, into socialism, racism, and then also victim Olympians.
Right. Hey, listen, look. And this is where we at here. That's why I titled the broadcast the way that I did. You know what I'm saying? Is it over for New York? Because if they continue down this path of destruction and craziness and overtaxing people, which New York is already one of the highest tax places in the United States, alongside California, and of course, Illinois. Man, I don't understand. What is happening with these people's souls, their mindset? What is really going on here, bro? And they okay with this? You know, they're willing to let our major big three cities, and there's other big cities, don't get me wrong, but just these three real quick. They're willing to let these places just completely be destroyed, man. And these are some of our huge financial hubs, tourist attractions, things like that. And they're just giving it over to all these crappy people that mean the American society no good at all. I mean, at all. Y'all saw what I showed you in the first beginning of the broadcast. He on there shaking and gyrating with his mama, talking about some, you know what I'm saying, check the commie and all this other type of dumbass shit. Man, dude, get this bat up out of here, man. Get this bat up out of here.
And people are looking to a person that is promoting the extreme version of what Bernie Sanders stand on into New York City, and New Yorkers actually picked him over Andrew Cuomo in the primaries, and now he's running against Eric Adams. All right, let's continue.
Boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. Explain why you are bringing race into your tax proposal.
That is just a description of what we see right now. It's not driven by race. It's more of an assessment of what neighborhoods are being undertaxed versus overtaxed.
Bullshit. You could have said the suburbs. Everybody would have understood exactly what you was talking about. You could have said the suburbs. You didn't have to specifically say white people. Dude, what is okay then? Keep playing these games around here.
It clearly says whiter, richer, and whiter neighborhoods.
Right.
Richer and whiter neighborhoods.
A lifetime of benefits and care.
Sorry about that commercial. It is what it is, guys. Damn, they hit me back to back with it. Yeah, man. Dude got to go. I don't know what's going on up there in New York, man, but y'all are losing y'all minds.
Again, that this is a property tax system that is inequitable. It's one that actually Eric Adams ran on, saying that he would change in the first 100 days. He's since sought to defend it and lost at every juncture in court.
And I understand you're saying we're simply describing the types of neighborhoods that would see these increase in taxes. And yet by invoking race, do you run the risk of potentially alienating key constituents?
I think I'm just naming things as they are. And ultimately, the thing that motivates me in this is to create a system of fairness. It is not to work backwards from a racial assessment of neighborhoods or our city. Rather,
so why did you say whiter?
To ensure that we actually have an equal playing field. And right now, what we see with the property tax system is one that is overtaxing a number of New Yorkers and undertaxing others, and an inability of political will to resolve that.
So no plans to change that language on your website.
The focus here is to actually ensure a fair property tax system, and that the use of that language is just an assessment of the neighborhood.
All right.
That's crazy. And he doubled down. Well, listen, I got to give him credit for doubling down on the wrong shit, because it's not like he's saying, you know what, we're going to change that in order to be more sensitive. No, they were very intentional, because they are basically weaponizing whiteness. Let's be clear. He's weaponizing whiteness. And then he goes on to say that on his website. He smiles in front of your face. He says he's going to tax people more. He's going to tax more of your money and give it to other people that don't work as hard as you or didn't grind as much as you. And let me just predict this right now. If he was to even remotely get into office, there would be a mass exodus of New Yorkers leaving that city, leaving that state. And as much as people love New York, and I get it, because the place where you make your business, the place where you've already paying most taxes in the United States of America, the place where you probably raised your kids, if you are in the culture, and I know it's a lot of people that probably don't understand staying where you're from or staying where you've grown and made your money and made your bones, and you've been willing to pay as much as you've paid all the way up until this point. And I'm sure that there's a lot of business owners that's going to stay in New York because they got to do business in New York, because that's just the way that it is. And that's what a lot of these mayoral candidates are banking on.
Right.
And I am telling you that it is 100% going to go the way of Chicago, Los Angeles, all the rest of these places. It is not a sustainable business model. It does not add value into people's lives. And it's absolutely going to crush the city that it takes in billions and billions and tens of billions of dollars in revenue every single year, and they need to learn how to manage what they already have. As a matter of fact, I would be working towards reducing the amount that people are paying in taxes in order to incentivize more business to come into New York, not the other way around.
You are.
Hey, listen, look.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Shout out to what Anton just said. It's clear that, you know, this Mamdani guy is bad for business. He's going to destroy New York more than it already is. And I mean, you know, I get it. New York is you know, it's kind of limping right now. Don't get me wrong, because it's been, you know, really, New York has really been mishandled for quite some time now as a city. But yeah, man, to allow this entity, and I said it, to allow this entity to come in and kind of cap off the hardship and the push for more debauchery and more destruction within the New York community, man. Y'all look, man, dude, y'all need to stop, bro. Y'all need to stop. You need to get the reins back in. You need to get control of that city, man. You need to get them super crazy, out of the way, liberal-minded ass people out of your city. You need to get them folks out of there ASAP. This is gonna be like that movie with Kurt Russell, Escape from New York. Y'all gonna be trying to escape from New York, and them motherfuckers gonna lock your ass up in there.
So what the French toast is there to think
Telling you
about?
right now, Telling you right now. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.